This is Sleeve Notes. One album, 10 questions. On this episode, Mac DeMarco 2.
Sorry, Mama. There are times I get carried away. Please, don't worry. Next time I'm home, I'll still be the same.
This is episode 5 of Sleeve Notes, 10 questions, one album. I'm going to take you back to 2012 and a record that I think has a melted vinyl aesthetic to it. It's something which is warped, but it's still warm. It's set in suburbia with a worldwide charm.
Nice.
And it's set its creator on a path that he's still on today. That creator is sat with me, Mac DeMarco. Welcome to Beats One London. How are you?
Good. Really hungover, but thanks for having me.
Do you operate well when you're hungover?
No.
You're going to be all right during this interview, right?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
It's only 10 questions.
It's fine, yeah. I know the answers, probably.
I went back through my emails because this record came out in 2012, as I said. The first email I ever got sent about Mac DeMarco was in February 2012, and you were described as, Mac DeMarco is like Elvis if he joined the XX instead of dying.
Okay, cool. I'll take the Elvis part. That's fine with me.
But I think this is going to be good. This is Sleeve Notes. It's a special part of the show where we like to pick an album that we feel is important and reappraise it with the person who created it.
Cool.
So over the next hour on Beats One, you're going to hear me and Mac DeMarco go through his album 2 in full right here on Beats One.
Shaboom.
I know it's no fun when your first son gets up to no good, starts freaking out the neighborhood. Really, I'm fine. Never been better. Got no job on the line. Sincerely, don't worry. Same old boy that you hoped you would find. And I know it's no fun when your first son gets up to no good, starts freaking out the neighborhood.
Question 1, Mac DeMarco. When was the last time you listened to 2?
Like front to back? I don't know if I ever have since I made it. It's a funny thing with my tunes. It's like, we play them live a lot, so I don't really, then I'll hear it in like a cafe somewhere and be like, what the hell is that, Yeah, long time ago. I don't think I've heard it in its entirety for probably never. I don't know.
Will that ever change, do you think? You ever going to have a moment where you're just like, yeah, I'll listen to everything start to finish?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure, yeah. I think with stuff before, too, like my really old stuff from when I was like 19, 18, I'll listen to that sometimes and be like,
Which stuff is that?
Memory lane. I had another recording project called Makeup Videotape a long time ago.
I love that band, man.
That's what's up.
Exercising with My Demons.
There you go.
That video.
But it's like, it's a time capsule kind of thing, but it's weird, we still play some of the songs off of too, so maybe if we weren't playing them, I'd feel more inclined to go back and check it out. But at some point I will, yeah.
8 years on, what in a song from 2 keeps it alive that long after it was released that you still want to keep playing it?
People still ask for them, Some never got asked for as well, but it's still like, what do we always play? Viceroy and Cooking Up Something Good, Freaking Out the Neighborhood, my kind of what. People want those songs still. So I'm going to give it to the people. They want it. You know, it's fine.
Mom is in the kitchen, cooking up something good. And Daddy's on the sofa, pride of the neighborhood. My brother's in the ballet, it seems he's got it set. And I'll be up at midnight with my cigarette. Life moves this slowly. Oh, just try and let it go. Oh, and life moves this slowly. Oh, just try and let it go. Daddy's in the basement, cooking up something fine, while Rick's out on the pavement, flipping it for dimes. If there's anything redeeming, I haven't seen it yet, and I'm still up at midnight, chewing Nicorette. Oh, and life moves this slowly. Oh, just try and let it go. Oh, and life moves this slowly. Oh, just try and let it go.
Question 2. Who was Mac DeMarco when you made this record?
Yeah. Insane person? I don't know. Yeah, who was I? Broke. Lived in a really crappy apartment in Montreal. Maybe I wasn't quite insane yet, but I think after this record came out and people were like, "You're cool," then I went completely insane. But now I feel pretty sane these days. But yeah, it was a weird point in my life. I didn't really realize that something would happen from making that. Yeah, I just thought, oh, I'm making another record. This is cool, whatever. And then, it's weird. It's pretty strange.
There was no epiphany moment when you did the demos and you thought, yes, these are the songs. This is what's going to change everything for me.
I remember I sent some of the demos to my label at the time and they were like, "What is this?" And I was like, "They're demos. Like, they're going to get..." Then I sent them the finals and they were like, "Okay, cool. Yeah, this is good." But I had a good time recording this record. It was, didn't see anybody for a month or something. And we actually doing this in the apartment we were in. There was a lot of neighbors, very thin walls. And it was only in the last song, I think, of tracking the drums that finally, like, a bunch of them rallied together and came and knocked on the door. And they're like, "What the hell are you doing in here?" I was like, "I'm sorry, like, I just got to finish." And they were cool. They let me have 2 more days or something. But yeah, weird place to do a record.
This is Mile End in Montreal, right?
Yeah, right up on Park and Van Horn, near there, something like that.
Just you living there?
Me and my girlfriend. Yeah, it was a dump.
And you were 21, 22 years old.
2012 would have been, yeah, I guess probably 21 or 20. I probably made it when I was 21, I guess. But
I remember from the press you were doing, just around the time the album came out, you were still touring around in a van. I think you were camping in places when you couldn't get a bed for the night.
Yep.
What were those days like?
It was cool. I had my little Volvo station wagon. It was pretty comfy. Seat warmers. You ever tried that in a car?
Fantastic.
Kind of makes you feel like you peed your pants or something. But we got by, played a lot of shows, would camp or just stay at people's houses or whatever and made it work. At the point when 2 came out, like when people were like, "This is cool, this kid's cool, go see your show," we were like, "Oh, cool." But, for 5-6 years prior to that, it was like, I was very, very used to playing for nobody, making no money on tour, and just going because it's fun, So I like to put hair on your chest.
So going back to the question, which was who was Matt DeMarco when you made this record, how do you think your girlfriend, who you're living with at the time while you were making the record, how would she have described you?
Probably similar, like just nutty. That was the beginning of us going out on the road a lot. So when I started going all the time, she was kind of like, what the hell is going on here, She was the one bringing in the bread back then. She was like paying most of the rent. And yeah, luckily now I can help her out, though, because she helped me out when I needed it back then. There you go.
Someday I'll find her, and I'm still reminded. Maybe she's best in dreams. She's still the best I've seen. I'm dreaming. Out on a windowsill, baby, remember. Maybe I'm out of luck. Maybe it's running still. Dreaming. 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 Baby, I'm dreaming.
Question 3 in Sleeve Notes. What was your ambition for this record for 2?
I had put out the record Rock and Roll Nightclub before this one, which I had a great time making. It was kind of fun, but it's also strange to have your first, it was on a label all of a sudden, and people were reviewing my thing, and we were playing these shows, and it's like not kind of a joke album, or strange, this character's really low voice, insane sounding, like, what the hell is this? So I think I was just kind of like, I think I'll make a record that is more me, maybe. Yeah, I just kind of went for it. Still with some of the stuff before Rock and Roll Nightclub, like guitar solos, I thought that was ridiculous. But then, on 2, there's a couple, So some of the tropes carried over. But I was listening to Harvest a lot. Maybe I was trying to make a Neil Young record or something. I have no idea. It came out the way it came out. I liked it, yeah.
It's very lo-fi. It sounds like it's been recorded in your home.
Yeah.
Which is true, right?
It's true, yeah. That's how it sounds like that, yeah.
Why did you do that? Why didn't you go into a studio? Because presumably Captured Tracks would have fronted it if you wanted it.
Maybe they would. I was still, even at that point in time, I've never really felt comfortable asking for any money from them, really. And I like recording at home. I've always done it that way. And a lot of my favorite artists do it that way as well. So I was kind of like, all right. I've not really been in a studio even at this point. Still just doing it at my house. And I think if I went into a place like that, I don't know if it would come out the same. You know what I mean? I think there's something about being at home in my underwear and not having to work against the clock or something. It's just nice. It's comfortable.
Honey, the stars keep on calling my name. But don't worry, I've told you again and again. When I'm down, you're always the first one to know. Let's get in town, I'll take you wherever I go. And I just wanna go town's really taking its toll. But don't worry, I'm all through with feeling this old. When I'm down, you're always the first on my mind. Skipping town, let's get out and see what we find. 'Cause I just wanna go. I just wanna go. I just wanna go. I just wanna go. Hit it, Rick.
You're listening to Sleeve Notes on Beats One. I have the distinct privilege of being joined by Matt DeMarco to talk about his great record 2, which came out in 2012. Episode 5 of Sleeve Notes, we have 10 questions, 1 album. We're up to question 4 now. Matt DeMarco, what are your clearest memories of the time when you were making 2? This is like 2011, 2012, I guess?
I just remember that apartment that I was in because I didn't leave it very often. We were living with some of my bandmates even today. Still, we had a house around the corner. Montreal is really, really cheap to get a place or whatever. So my girlfriend and I were like, you know what? You get a couple $100 and you're like rich there. So we're like, yeah, we're going to get our own place, be this domestic couple. Like, look at us. It's got this dumpy ass apartment around the corner. And I mean, it was fine, but it was kind of, just gross. The place kind of smelled bad. Yeah, I don't think I put pants on the whole month and just kind of hammered away.
Anything changed now?
Yeah, not really. Yeah. Nicer place, but that's about it. Yeah.
So what was the room like where you were working on 2? Can you describe it?
Yeah, it was like, so there was a door in the corner, had this big shelf right beside the door, a bunch of books and crap on it. And beside the shelf, the drums were there, but I hung up all these blankets because the room sounded like crap. It kind of deadened a little bit. We had a couch, a little coffee table, and there was this window, and the window looked right out at a brick wall, so there was no view. But that's where I had the big old hi-fi speakers, tape machine, mixing board, little stereo amp. And then over to the right, there was the guitar amp section. Really small room. Also the kitchen.
Was it?
Yeah.
Actually?
Yeah, it was like there was no real divide between the two. So, I don't know. I remember eating a lot of quesadillas, homemade quesadillas.
We're halfway through Sleeve Notes now. And question 5, Mac DeMarco, what is your favourite track on the record?
I like the song Annie, I think. For some reason, it was very, back, it's still kind of this way today still, but when I was doing it back then, the tape machine was always kind of half broken. I was using like weird tape from thrift stores. You'd record something and be like, well, I wonder what is going to come back when I play it back. And for some reason, that one I was always kind of like, I like it's something about the fidelity of it or like the way the drums sound or something. It's like, I like that one. That's good. Yeah, I don't know. It just sticks out to me for some reason.
Did you spend long trying to get the right sounds and the right tones? Because it's a very weird sounding record.
It was the first time I'd ever recorded a whole drum set. Before it was usually just floor tom and snare drum and all my stuff. But so I had no idea what I was doing. But it turned out, I put some blankets up because the drums sounded a little wacky in that room. But I just kind of took a mic and put it in the middle of the kit and was like, that sounds good. Okay. I think it was I used that same microphone for every source on the record. So that probably makes it sound extra weird. And the guitar stuff, I just had this weird rack unit that I bought off a friend back in the day. Listening back now, it is like, wow, that guitar sounds really strange. But at the time, I was just like, cool.
Annie, to me, seems like quite a dark song.
Sure, yeah.
What's that song about?
I never really decided. I had a friend named Annie. I had a cat named Annie at one point. I liked the name because of Twin Peaks, at the end, Annie. So, take your pick.
Knows when it's me, knows how I'm feeling, and gives me a healing. Oh, Annie, sit down beside me, let me confide in you. When I'm blue, when I'm lonely, and honey, I'm lonely. I'm going down. Daddy won't let me. Daddy won't let me go. And that's why I feel so low. Oh, Annie, sit down beside me. Let me confide in you. When I'm blue, when I'm lonely, and honey, I'm lonely. I'm going down.
One album, 10 questions. This is Sleeve Notes.
Question 6, which lyric are you most proud of?
Which lyric am I most proud of? Jeez. I kind of still find the, when we play Viceroy now, I don't even think about it's like just, let's go. But I think that's kind of funny, Ode to Joy, Ode to Viceroy. that's funny to me, you know.
Because there's a very funny quote about you talking about that, saying it's not about my love for cigarettes.
No.
It's about I'm addicted to cigarettes, and this is messed up.
Yeah, it's weird. Well, and the thing was too, I think that the humor got lost on a lot of people because Viceroy isn't really a worldwide cigarette brand anymore. Used to be a big brand in the States, but now it's pretty much just in Canada and like Russia and Eastern Europe. So people didn't know that I was necessarily even singing about cigarettes at first, which they're like the bottom of the barrel smokes you can buy in Canada. They're like the worst. Even that part of it too, I find that funny. But it was kind of like a joke that maybe like 6 people chuckled over like in Montreal for a day. Like that's it.
I have to say, I do love your lyric writing on this record. In Still Together, it's easy love, fits like a glove.
Yeah.
It's always stuck out to me. So simple, like 6 or 7 words. But it's so beautiful and it makes so much sense.
That song's actually a lot old. That one I did a couple years before.
Do you need to be in love to write a lyric like that?
Maybe not. I don't know. Sometimes what I'm writing is, you know, rooted in the truth. Sometimes it's just la-di-da-di-da, you know. But regardless of whether it's true or not, you know, it is like, you know, if you look at the idea of like relationships or love or something, it fits in there somewhere, you know what I mean? Everybody feels something like that at some point. So
where do you think your head was at when it came to lyric writing for this process?
Very much what is going on in my life at the time, you know. It was like, you know, I wrote about my family a little bit, freaking out the neighborhood just because my aunt and my mom were like freaked out by, you know, me putting that drumstick up my butt.
Your most watched video.
Apparently Bono saw it, which I was very pleased about.
How'd you know that?
I think it was a Scottish radio host told me. He had a video of him watching it, which is...
Video? Bono watching?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Nice. Anyway.
What was his reaction?
He was kind of like, oh, okay, you know.
So this is where music's at now?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Wrote a song about the brand of cigarettes that I was smoking, you know. It's just very kind of fun loving, you know, not trying to get too serious or anything, but...
Was it an afterthought, or were lyrics important to you?
They're important, but I think that, you know, especially at that point in time, it was very, you know, it was kind of like making a song for me was kind of like playing with Lego. It's like, well, you put the drums and then you get the chord progression and you do the guitar part and then lyrics. I had a lot of them written before, like on the demo version, but at that point in time, it was very like, it happens last and then shaboom, the song is done.
Viceroy, early in the morning, just trying to let the sun in and open up my eyes. Viceroy, as it's getting later, Viceroy, don't take me for a fool now. I'm only trying to calm down, just trying to keep it cool. Viceroy, as it's getting later, heading for the corner, I'm leaving it to you. No, don't let me see you crying. 'Cause
All right, this is Sleeve Notes. You listen to Beats One on Apple Music. It's Matt Wilkinson. I'm sat here with Mac DeMarco talking about episode 5 of Sleeve Notes, 10 questions, 1 album. We're getting towards the end now. I've got a few questions left for you. Matt, question 7. What do you remember about the day that 2 was released, which according to Wikipedia and the internet was on a Tuesday for some reason, October the 16th, 2012?
I remember the night before, I was with Mike Sniper, who owns Capture Tracks. He was really excited to see the Pitchfork review. So we were in some bar and his phone was dead. I remember this. We were really drunk. His phone was dead. So he was charging it behind the bar and he kept going to look at it. But I don't think the review came up for like a week or something after the release day or something. So yeah, we didn't see it. And then, we were drunk and I'm pretty sure I slept on his couch that night. And I don't remember why I was in New York though.
I think it was CMJ. I was looking at gigs.
Oh, that's
and you
probably
played Music Hall at Williamsburg 2 days later for CMJ.
Yeah,
I think it was CMJ.
I was right at the end. Yeah, so we had done this whole tour through the States. It was like maybe 2 months long. I'm playing like mostly, some cities were fine. LA was fine. Chicago was fine, but mostly to absolutely nobody. And then we got all the way, I think we even went down to Florida. We came back up and it was just like, wow, we're burnt out. And, sleeping in the car every night and we don't have any money and it's crazy. And then we got to New York and the album came out and then all this hype happened. And then all of a sudden all the shows were sold out. And I was like, oh, this is great. Okay, cool. Well, okay.
What did that do to your head? Looking back on that now, we've had lots and lots of Clearwater and time between that period. You've done so many shows at big festivals, your own festivals that you create. Many records have come out since, but that was the spark, really. That was the first big moment for Mac DeMarco.
I guess so, yeah. I mean, it was just confusing. It was kind of like, you play to nobody, all of a sudden, there's a bunch of people. It was kind of like, well, we're going to do the same show, and I guess people like it now. That's weird. Okay. It was great, especially coming over to Europe and expecting us to come over. It's like, well, we're going to lose a bunch of money, but at least we're going, but all the shows were sold. And I was like, okay, this is great.
Some of the reviews were quite weird. I went back and read a few. The general gist seems to be that you were a weed-smoking drifter singing songs about girl troubles.
That works for me.
Does it? For me, I don't know if it does. I don't know if that is the album. And knowing
Probably
you now,
not, yeah.
knowing the music you've put out since, that's not really true.
I mean, I think for the most part with, music or album reviews, they never really quite get it. I don't think anybody's ever really quite hit the nail on the head with any of my records. But that's cute, though. Drifter. I guess that's before they discovered the slacker term. But I mean, it must have been confusing as well to go from like, they wrote about this, like, what the hell is this rock and roll nightclub thing? And then it's like, who is this guy now? What,
Maybe when we're older, we can try this over. Loving on the sidelines, another one of my kind. Robson girl, sit down by your daddy. Robson girl, sit down by your daddy. No one else's shoulder I felt could be colder. Loving on the sidelines, just one straight on my mind. Robson girl, sit down by your daddy. 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 That's a wrap.
Question 8. What one thing about this album would you change?
What would I change? Golly. You know what? I never really liked the reverb that I used on my voice on Cheryl. I probably would have chosen a different reverb. But, you know, I still like it. But I had a thing back then where it was like, I didn't want things to sound like too, I remember describing it as like puffy or something. Or the drums sounded like kind of puffy. And for some reason that reverb was a little puffy.
Were you playing it to people as you were going along and kind of getting people's opinions?
A little bit, not really. I mean, once I had it all finished, then I played it for a couple of my friends. But
Who was it?
I remember very specifically, I was taking a dump with the door open and my friend Jeremy was on the couch. And he was actually staying at the house when I was starting to do the demos. So it's kind of full circle. But I played it for him. And I remember from the bathroom, I heard him say, "Oh, this sounds pretty pro." And I was like, okay, cool, I'll take
Were
that.
you playing it in the bathroom?
No, the bathroom. So it's like the living room. Here's the kitchen. Bathroom's right here. So I was, 8 feet away.
Thank you for clarifying.
Yeah.
Getting hard to remember. Getting hard to recall. Getting laid off and pushed out. And it ain't my baby's fault. So if you go, don't cry. I'll be right there at your side, Cheryl. Cheryl. Getting late on the lifeline. Getting tired, time for bed. And there's no use getting worked up. I remember all you said. And if you go, don't cry. I'll be right there at your side, Cheryl. Cheryl, Cheryl, Cheryl.
Penultimate question in Sleeve Notes, talking about 2 by Mac DeMarco. This is quite a big question, I guess. Question 9. How did this record change your life, Mac DeMarco?
I don't know. I guess, like we were talking about, it was the beginning of going on tour, playing for people like caring about what I was doing. I mean, on a bigger scale or whatever, but it's been cool, I guess. Now look at me now, musician guy. It's kind of the shift where now this is actually my job. It was the shift from before. It was like, well, this is my pet project thing that I like to do, but I'm always going to have to work the night shift at the grocery store to subsidize it. And then when this record came along, I don't have to work at the grocery store anymore. Pretty nice.
Was it always the dream to do that, or was it something that was unfathomable, so you didn't even think about it?
There was no way of that working out in my mind. I just it was like, but that was fine as well. It's like, I'll do this stuff because I like to do it, and that's great. And, I'll play shows and whatever, but I didn't think that, it's kind of, even nowadays, or, it's making money off this kind of thing in this business and stuff is like pretty ridiculous and like incredibly lucky. So I just try and remember that about it, because it's crazy. It's crazy as hell.
Good chatting to you, Mac. I feel like this album is an important record for you, personally, professionally, definitely for your fans. Me going back to it over the last couple of weeks, totally loved it. If anyone is out there listening and hasn't heard the whole of 2, then go and check it out on Apple Music now. We have one question in this episode of Sleeve Notes left. It's question 10. Mac DeMarco, if you could dedicate 2 to one person, who would it be?
I guess I'll go with my girlfriend, Kira. Why not? She had to put up with me hammering away every day. I already got a little shout out to her at the end of the record, but hey, why not make the whole thing for her? There you go.
Which is such a sweet thing, the shout out in the end.
Yeah, it's cute.
It was just one take. Why did you decide to leave it in? Did you ask her permission?
No, she passed out behind me when I was doing that last song. And I did the song and I was kind of like, my voice is pretty pitchy. Like that probably wasn't the best take of that. But then I heard that little snippet at the end. I was like, yeah, okay, that's the one. Yeah, no problem. That's funny. So we put it in. We left it in. It was sweet.
So much character.
Yeah, it's like that's the part where you find out that it's really recorded at home. Yeah, there you go.
Mac DeMarco, thank you very much.
Thank you.
In time she'll see that her and me were meant to be together. And time will pass, it may go fast, but we'll still be together. And where I go, she's at my side, half of my life together. It's easy love, it's like a glove from up above, together. I've had my share, it's just not fair that we should be together. But if it's fine that I've done my time, let's walk the line together. And when she's low, I'll always know we'll always go together. It's easy love, it's like a glove from up above, together. Kiki. Kiki? Hey. Time for bed. You're sleeping. Let's go. You don't want this. Ready? Oh, you have a little indentation from the glasses that you fell asleep with on your face. I love you.